tutorial starts with a song, but it's only a few seconds long.
Computer animation. Computer animation. Computer animation.
Let's get started with animation. Hello folks, this is a posting I did in the Autodesk Maya forum on Facebook just recently. It's in HD and this is what it looks like. Let me go to the very beginning. It's an animation of a ticker tape, or you can call it moving text. Straightforward. Now it's a little bit more wavy. The next one is flickering, with a random function, by the way. And finally we have some color with some irritation. And I'll show you the basic approach to this. We create a plane and press the key F so we see it closely, and we go to the polyplane factory here and we change the height or the width. Maybe the width, so we have a closer similarity to what I've just shown you. I don't want to see the grid, so I click here. This is the surface where the text will appear. What kind of text? Here we have the text. If you don't see this, by the way, go to the poly modeling tab here. If you don't have the poly modeling tab here, go to create, and under polygon primitives you find the text. But I find it here alright, and it always starts with a huge 3D type. And first thing I want to change is the type font. Lucida Console, quite nice. It's available in regular and in italic. So let's use this one. Now we need to adjust the size and change the geometry slightly, because we don't have geometry right here, and this is a little bit hidden here. You go to the tab geometry, and further down you find the deformation type, which is usually closed. Open this section and then just click here, and you see that we have lots of faces on the front and at the back of the type font. We actually don't need the back for this experiment. Now press the key R to scale this down to just about the size so it fits nicely on that tape here. Now with the key E we rotate it, and when you press and hold J you rotate it in certain degrees, I think 10 degrees, and you can easily reach, without typing anything in here, 90 degrees. That's what we just did. Now I move it a little bit further here, and of course I want a nice text now. It's right here, and instead of 3D type I want to type love is in the air. And I hope love is in the air for you, and we move the love over here. We're at the beginning of the animation. Now we press Shift W, or the key S if you like. The key S sets keyframes for all parameters, whereas Shift W only for the movement. So this is just a bit leaner, whatever. Now we go to the very end, for example to frame 200, and we move the type font over here, over to the side, like here, and we press Shift W again. So what it does is it moves, it slowly starts, then accelerates, and then it slows down. I don't want to have that acceleration and slowing down, so I go to Windows, Animation Editor, Graph Editor, and here you see the ease in and ease out, and you can get rid of it by clicking here. So it's a straight line. Now the type font moves in a straight way from the very beginning to the end. Is it placed nicely on the tape? Yes, it is. Now we turn this into a light, and that's the trick with this tutorial. Really, Arnold, lights, mesh light. brief meditation here. We go to Arnold, we want to create a light, and we want to create a mesh light from the type font. Arnold render. We see nothing because the intensity is not enough. And now you see it's coming out really nicely. When we run the simulation, or the animation actually, so there's a sort of real-time rendering, we see this surrounding here, that's the gray tape, and the letters move from the right to the left. So we can read it all right. If you want to change the color, go to color. We're in the mesh shape here. If you don't find it or you lose it, go to the outliner, and under type mesh you can open this, and this is the light. This is the light we're talking about. Now change the color by going to, well, a light blue here. And of course you need to raise the intensity again. I want to tell you how I did the distortion of the plane. I used a deformer, and the deformers are found here under modeling. You find the deformers, and you can use any kind of deformers to make that wavy thing ideal. Is wave deformer. When you need to select the surface first, the mesh first, that's obvious, and here you find the wave amplitude. That's why nothing happens, because the amplitude by default is set to 0. When you raise it slightly, you get this wavy effect here. And now you see that something with the letters does not work, because you need a very subtle change in the wave, really. So maybe 0.01, and you can pick the handle, it's the wave handle, and move that along the surface. And of course it needs keyframes as well. Let's set a keyframe here. Let's go to the end and move it over here, and Shift W again. And here is the finished animation. It's quite a bit grainy, which is, I think, in this context quite a nice effect. The graininess comes from extremely low anti-aliasing settings in the GPU rendering. It was rendered using the GPU, a low budget GPU by the way, in merely a couple of minutes.